If you're doing bench dips to train your triceps, you're more than likely going to stress your shoulder than build any muscle. And here's why. Bench dips falls in that category of low reward, high risk, where it's not in a very effective workout and is really going to increase your chance of possible injury. So yes, you can do them and you will feel your triceps work. But as your coach, cue the music. I don't want to just give you any exercise. I want to give you effective exercises that can yield a greater chance of results with decreased chances of injury. Because at the end of the day, I just want you to live long and prosper. As we've always gone through, we want to know what's the function of the muscle so we know how to best train the muscle. The muscle, your triceps, want to go through elbow flexion, elbow extension. Think of slamming your forearms into your bicep for that elbow flexion, fully lengthening your arms for elbow extension. So why is it an ineffective workout? One, because it can only really work the muscle in that shortened range. And as we talked about before in previous videos, if you're trying to build muscle, you want to find out how can I work the muscle or prioritize working the muscle in its mid to lengthen ranges. Dips, you can only work it in that short range. So can it provide a burn? Absolutely. But burn doesn't equate to growth. We're trying to stimulate, challenge the muscle, and that's done best in its mid to lengthen ranges. The other reason I don't like the bench dips is because it can increase your chances of injury. Now, the safest bench dips you can do is on the ground. Feet and hands on the ground and you just extending and bending your arms. That will probably be the safest way, but look at that little range you're doing. That is not going to be a great exercise for growth. Now, elevating and doing your bench dips off of a bench is almost just as ineffective, but now you've increased your chances of injury because you're trying to force yourself deeper, but you're not really working your triceps any extra. When you're doing your bench dips, because of the bench and where it's positioned, you cannot go into elbow flexion, but you can try and go deeper. And as you try and go deeper, what your body's trying to do, because now you cannot work the tricep, you're going to notice how your shoulders rotate inwardly. We don't want that. We don't want to stress your shoulders and start compressing your shoulders together. That's going to be an easy way to injure yourself. One of my foundations of training and movement is always making sure you understand what you're doing with your core and posture. The better you can keep your posture, the better you can activate some of those posterior muscles like your rotator cuffs that can help protect your shoulders. And even if you try and go deeper and you try your best to keep your posture, you're going to notice you start activating your upper traps, a muscle we overuse already. But why are you trying to activate your traps if you're trying to work your triceps? We want to figure out how can we isolate the working muscle as best as we can to make sure it's more of an effective workout in growing the triceps. Now, this gets even worse when someone tries to put their feet elevated and their hands elevated because their posture is completely off and they're just putting more stress on that shoulder joint that they're compressing in. Putting your feet elevated, you're not able to get any more of the stretch of the triceps, where again, we want to get into, but you're just adding more weight to the joints. But because you can still come up and squeeze your triceps, you will feel your triceps work, but it's really just working that short range up top, and you're not getting any extra tricep activation on the bottom of this movement. Bodyweight exercises I would replace the tricep dips with will be dips, but off of the machine. So when you're using the machine and you got those railings on the side of you, now you're able to pull those shoulder blades back, keep that spine neutral staying upright, and you can actually go into elbow extension and elbow flexion. Another one, which we've gone over before, are just tricep push-ups done correctly. You're able to go into that full elbow flexion, full elbow extension, and you can still think of your core and posture, making this a very effective workout, meaning you can yield a lot of results and keep you safer at the same time. So those are exercises I would give you to replace the bench dips for your triceps. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've tried any before. Let me know if you ever felt any shoulder pain during or after doing your bench dips. And let me know what's the next exercise you think we should retire. And I'll see you guys on the next video.